I haven't found it, and there isn't one. And it took me months and thousands of dollars to actually realize that there isn't a perfect way of getting clients for your online business. And it took me even longer than that to actually realize this principle of energies and how each client acquisition system has different energies associated with it. And that's what I want to teach you today, because all of these online educators out there, their job is essentially to say, this is my method, this is the best method, I'm going to teach you this method, and you can pay me to teach you this method. And that makes sense. It's a business model that makes sense. But really, that method might not be great for you and your personal strengths. And that should be good news for you, because you don't need to go a specific way just because someone's telling you so. You can really succeed in lots and lots of different ways of acquiring clients. And you can essentially, after this video today, choose the one that's going to work best for you. So this is how to use energies to get a client. So what I want you to imagine here, using this diagram, is that it's going to take 100 points, and we can call it, we've got matches here, we can call it matches. So this is our currency. It's going to take 100 matches for someone to pay you money, okay? And there are lots and lots of different ways that you can put matches, this currency of matches, to make it more likely for someone to pay you money. So if we start from the very left end, now this, wait one sec. This isn't a perfect science, okay? So this isn't going to be exactly what it is, but this is based on everything that I've been doing over the last 4 years. These are the ways that I've found to be best, the best representation of how easy it's been for me to acquire clients based on the different methods that I've used, okay? So this isn't exact science. There are going to be other ones that exist as well, I'm sure, but that's just what I want to say right now. So really easy one for you to understand. If someone's bought from you before, that is going to be really easy for them to buy from you again. So I've just made a sale for my business, and someone wanted to sign up for $2,200, I believe, per month. And that was really easy. It wasn't like umming and ahhing on the fence. It was just, okay, look, done, paid, whatever, everything like that. That was just sorted because they bought from me before. Now, I needed to make sure that I had other things under my belt, right? I'd done proof of results. I'd worked with another company that she'd been associated with. That would also count as a client referral. And basically, we're at that point of 100 matches, right? So that's when it's really, really easy. Now, a lot of people will teach you to get started with cold outreach. And the reason for that is because it's cheap and it's a very low barrier to entry. The problem with cold outreach is that they only have a few matches associated with them, these little energy points. So if you're sending someone a generic DM pitch, it's only got 5 associated with it. So if you send someone a DM, they're going to be, you've still got a gap of 95 to actually close here. So then what you might need to do is then have a call with them. That's going to go to 15 points. And then now you're on, you've got 85 left. And then you might send them a video after that intro call, giving them a bit more information about what you can do and maybe more of a personalized strategy related to it. So this is actually one of the ways that I would find helped me a lot when it came to client acquisition, because I wasn't too confident in what I was doing to begin with, because I had that imposter syndrome, but also I hadn't worked with many clients before. So what I'd do is I'd go away after the intro call, I'd create a personalized video pitch, and then I'd explain, okay, these are the opportunities I see, and that would help me get clarity myself, and then it would also warm them up as well and give them more energy. So now we're at 5, 10, 30, so we've got 70 points left to cover. So then what we'd do is we'd probably have a strategy call at this point. So that'd be a second one, and then I'd offer them what we have to offer. But you can see here, this is probably going to be a pitch and a miss, right? Because we're only on 50 out of 100. So if you're a good salesperson, sales skills is essentially a multiplier that you can tack on to this strategy call. Therefore, that strategy call is then worth 40 points instead of just 20 points, because you can see they add up, right? So now instead of being at 50, you've actually gone to 70, and now you've only got a gap of 30 to actually make up. But in the beginning, you might not be that good at sales, but you've got to make up for it in other ways. So lots of people say, oh, you need to clarity is the most important thing, or providing value up front is the most important thing, or rapport, or confidence, or whatever it may be. All of these things are important, but they just have different matches associated with them. So this person might not get back to you for a while. So then you do some follow-ups, and that's going to add more, because they're going to hear from you again. They're going to see your name. They're going to see your face if you've got a profile picture related to whatever it is that you're using. If you look good on the call, that's going to help you out as well. If you're respectful, if you're personable, if you're showing some kind of personality, if you're using relevant verbiage for their industry, and then you've got good rapport on the call. Maybe in the beginning you're not that confident, so you really need to make up for it in these other ways. So you need to be looking really, really good. You can't afford to be dropping out on these different things here that are essentially those easy ones. If you had someone that had already bought from you before, they had a client referral, and you had some sort of results guarantee, and it was already over 100, you could take the call, probably from your bed, in your pajamas, and they'd still know, and they'd still have enough energy to actually convert into a client at this point. So at this point, if you add all of these different things, that's 20, 30, 45, 50, 60, 70, 75, 85. So we've only got a gap of 15 left to fill here. So then you might provide some extra value for them. It might be, oh, just before this strategy call, I noticed this was broken on your website, this was broken on your website, this is broken on your website, this is the plan I've got to actually sort that out. So that might be something, and then that's kind of that reciprocity bias as well that can help with it. And then maybe there's going to be other of these 5 things as well that are there, but we're now on 95, and then you just communicate clearly on the call. So that's going to help you get a client. But you can see you've got to have a lot going for you at this point when you're acquiring clients through this cold outreach method. But then when it started to change for me and things got a whole lot easier is when I started creating content. And I was creating short form content with a direct offer. So it would be something along the lines of, if you're a moving company owner looking to get an extra 30 moves per month without paying for ads, then follow me here on Instagram. And then they'd follow me on Instagram, then they'd see my short form content. But I didn't just have one piece of short form content here. I'd have lots of different pieces of short form content. So there's probably going to be some sort of diminishing returns at this point when it comes to short form content. I'm not saying every piece is going to be worth exactly 15. It's not an exact science. But you can see if I've got a really solid profile, that can all help itself out. And then I've got a solid offer on the ad that I was running as well. So that's 15, 30, 45. Let's say that was suddenly worth 45. And then the offer was worth 30 itself because they're interested in what I have to offer. Then I was just going for one call closes, which would just be a one-time strategy call. So 45, 75, 95. And then at that point, if I was just presentable on the call, then they could go ahead. So you can see how your content makes things a whole lot easier. Likewise with, I'll just delete these. Long form sales assets. This is going to be your long form content. So YouTube videos that are longer, and not just any old YouTube videos, but real in-depth ones that are going to be helping someone go from their current situation to their desired situation. So that might be, if it was me, for example, I had a really good, well-performing YouTube video, which was essentially a full guide to SEO for moving companies. And that would actually get me people a lot warmer. They'd have a lot more energy, a lot more of these matches after watching that before jumping on this call with me. So therefore, that made my client acquisition a whole lot easier. This doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube videos as well. This could be something like a podcast. Podcasts do really, really well in terms of converting and adding that trust, adding that energy. And then also, if you were running an ad to a landing page with a video sales letter on it, that would also count as a long format sales asset if someone's getting some value from this as well. So you've got lots and lots of different ways of acquiring clients for your business here just by taking a look at these different forms of energy. And to make your life easy, my recommendation for you is essentially to create content early and to create content often. That way you're going to be able to meet this 100 matches requirement quite a lot easier if you're creating both long form and short form content. Developing good sales skills is going to be a work in progress. And then as you learn more about the industry, that's going to help. It's going to help you with your verbiage as well. And what else do we have? Confidence as well as you get more familiar with your industry too. So I just want to go through these quickly just because I know I haven't been through absolutely all of them. But number one, we've got bought from you before. We've got client referrals. So that's really helpful. Push for client referrals when you're getting good results and they're kind of on that high point. Oh, hello, who else do you know that we might be able to help? That's a great way to ask at that point. Results guarantees, if you're able to actually deliver really, really well. Obviously, if you're not too sure and you're just getting started, probably don't add a results guarantee because that's going to give you unnecessary stress. The offer, as we talked about, having a clear, relevant offer that's numbers driven and relevant to what they actually desire. Offering some sort of test project up front can also really, really help. So if instead of doing 3-month minimum retainer of short form content creation for a business, you might create them a few videos or a pack of 10 videos, and then that will be considered a test project. And that also relates to bought from you before as well at that point. A direct case study, fairly self-explanatory. If you've got a direct case study that's related to their industry and the results you've been able to achieve, and they want those similar results. Industry experience, long-form sales assets, pricing that works for them, actively looking. So this is if you're using a platform like Upwork, people are there actively looking. That's why when you pitch on Upwork, you're getting a higher hit rate because people are actually looking, and that's going to be 25% of your, roughly, of your 100 matches requirement. It seems like I've got test project in here twice. Proof of results, good sales skills, short form content, mutual connection, personal pitch, confidence are 10s, and then we've gone through all of these as well. So I really hope that kind of demystifies the process of client acquisition for you and puts it into something that is a bit clearer. There are loads of different ways of acquiring clients, and really you don't need to worry about trying to find the perfect one, because the perfect one doesn't exist. All you need to do is just approach it with the understanding that different methods are going to have more energy associated with them. They're not necessarily better because some of them are more scalable than others and everything like that. But if you can really make sure that you find one, you stick to it, and you execute it consistently, as long as it's the type of content or type of acquisition system that is going to be suited to your strengths, then you're going to see success with it. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If you do have questions, feel free to comment them below, and I will speak to you in the next video.